Pues, gente, aquí en el primer episodio del podcast que nos vamos a aventar yo y René González acá. Me llamo Luis Gutierrez.
Yo le a sus órdenes, me llamo René González. A todo madre. ¿Cómo están?
Ojalá y todos estén bien ahí. We're gonna introduce ourselves briefly. My name, like I said, my name is Luis Gutierrez. I love everything Mexican football. As you can see, we got it set up back here. As you can see, I got the number 10 because I used to be the offensive attacker on every team I played on. So therefore, I was really bad at being a center back. And so Rene and I had the pleasure of playing a couple times, and I just fed him balls throughout the game, and he scored the goals, and then that's how we met each other.
Yeah, man. We have the boat. We share the boat, that passion for football. And growing up, we all played in the streets. You know, we all played cascaritas, and we all played hasta el último gol gana, ¿verdad? You know,
so that's apagaban las luces.
Exacto, hasta que nos regañaban los.
Until the lights went out.
Exactly. Until in our neighborhood, in our barrio, until Charlie came after us at night, and we all took off to our homes. But you know, saludos a toda la raza pesada, especially toda la raza del north side aquí en Greeley, Colorado.
What's up, Greeley?
Where we grew up, and obviously, obviamente, saludos a la raza de Jalisco. You know, I'm from my family. We all grew up, you know, passionate about that Mexican soccer because we all came from Mexico, and I personally, you know, came from Los Altos de Jalisco, Tepatitlán. Luis, remind me where you're from.
Mira, I'm from Chihuahua, una colonia que se llama La Revolución. It's not a very good neighborhood, but here I am in Greeley. And I grew up there, man, not playing soccer, not playing any soccer until I got into college. I started playing at UNC somehow. I made the UNC club team, dude. It was by invite. It wasn't because I made it, all right? It was by invite. They're like, hey, you're Mexican, you're tall, you're fast, estás flaco. You know what? Get in the back, dude. Start playing. And I started playing when I was like 24. And but yeah, Chihuahua. Saludos a todos los chihuahuenses aquí en Greeley. There's nothing but maybe a couple like Jalicenses and maybe one Michoacano over there.
Órale. Hey, man, didn't you guys win Miss Universe?
Es todo, yeah. ¿Cómo se llama esta señora? Andrea Mesa?
Exacto,
yeah,
exacto,
dude,
man,
yeah. She's, we grow them right there in Chihuahua, dude. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, no, pues tú sabes, Luis, es que es bien bello, primo.
Abuelita de Batman.
You know, one of the things that Luis and I really have in common is we may be from different states, and I know we all, in Mexico, we have our pride from what part of Mexico we're from Jalisco, Michoacán, Zacatecas, Chihuahua. One thing that Luis and I really share in common, and I'll share this with you, is, you know, he's a americanista, right?
Es todo, Águilas!
And, you know, I'm obviously un fanático para las Chivas. But one of the things that we share in common is the support of all Mexican players abroad.
That's right.
You know, Raúl Jiménez, Chicharito, they come from two rival clubs, but man, we got to support our players when they're abroad, when they're playing MLS, or when they're playing even in South America. So I think that's something that you don't see very often, is that common support for our players. And that's why we're here, right? Because we share that passion to support our La Selección, ¿verdad? El Tri. So that being said, man, that was a pretty extensive intro, right? What are we talking about today,
I think we
Luis?
could go on and on for hours on this. And, you know, we have this little agenda here, but we'll probably deviate at some point because there's just so many things that we can talk about. So Rene and I started thinking about this podcast. I mean, it's probably been months, huh?
Yeah.
It's been months we've been talking about it, and eventually why we ended up doing it today is because Mexico plays here in about 2 weeks in Denver.
Absolutely.
And it could be a clásico, right? Mexico versus U.S., which is going to get crazy because every time Mexico and U.S. plays, you know, there's all kinds of stuff going around. Cerveza, madrazos.
Hey, but the U.S. has to beat Honduras, bro. And that's not an easy win. That's not an easy win. I think they're bringing their European players to try to get this win pulled out.
I don't know that the U.S. can beat Honduras right now.
Hey, man.
Honduras has given everybody, even Mexico, dude. Even Mexico, they've been giving them fits.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know that we'll see a clásico on Sunday, the 6th. we might see a Clásico in the third place match, you know,
Exactly.
Mexico, US.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
I don't
point.
care what it is. I'd rather see a third place match against the US than
first place against Costa
Honduras or whoever, dude.
Man.
I'd rather see that.
And yeah. And we all, we also have a big fan base for Honduras and a lot of Central American clubs, and so we do want to shout out and recognize that there's a strong support for Honduras y El Salvador and
Costa Rica, Guatemala,
so, and that's why we're here, right? We just happen to be from Mexico, and that's why we're gonna showcase Mexico and our passion, because we know a little bit more about that than maybe some of our other international teams that are also playing in this tournament. But you're right.
Yeah.
We're here to support La Selección. They're in Denver. We'll get into this a little bit later, but this can be a good starting point, a measuring stick for Denver as a host city in 2026, right?
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, that's something that we're all passionate about. Not just you and I. I'm sure everybody in Denver is excited to see if we can get a World Cup game. I don't know that's going to be Mexico, but whatever it is, man, I hope we get one. And like we said, this podcast, man, it's our love for soccer. We will talk about passionate things that we've conversed about. We will talk about a lot of different things, but mostly it will be La Sele, because that's what we're here for. We'll probably talk about some, obviously los compatriotas abroad over there in Europe quite a bit, and then some guys in the MLS and wherever else they are. But yeah, it's gonna be just like this, Spanglish all day.
Yeah,
a little bit of Español in there, a little bit of. Un
poquito de bilingüe y todo más.
De todo. A todo le vamos a dar.
Exacto. Yeah, we and there's so much to talk about, man. There's strategy, there's short-term vision, there's long-term vision, there's World Cup. All this really is a lot of dynamics with our soccer team and with Tata and our coach, and it's usually through every World Cup cycle we see a new head coach depending on how far we go, man.
Yeah.
El quinto partido, what do you think, Luis? 2026 or no?
I'm saying the elusive six, dude.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying the elusive six, dude. And but yeah, that's the podcast, guys. I hope you guys follow us. We don't have Twitter handles yet. We don't have Facebook handles yet. Or Facebook, whatever pages, Twitter, the tweeter, whatever. I don't know, whatever. But we'll make one eventually. See,
slowly.
My age doesn't show too much here in the technology department.
No, Luis and I, we didn't know this, but we actually went to the Montfort College of Business here at UNC.
Años, güey.
I know that was like 15 years ago, man.
That's way too long.
That's been too long, but hey, man, I think we're the only Latinos in the business program at that time.
Dude.
It was but it was it was a fun process. We just never crossed paths. I would have ran into you, dude. Man, big boy.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, no estaba tan gordo. Before I wasn't as fat, but I was a skinnier, more athletic. Gio over there can attest to this. But that's why they call me La Tripa, right? Exactly. Hey, we're not gonna call you the noodle, because that guy's smaller than you and shorter. Mm-hmm. So you're taller, you're skinnier. La Tripa it is. I was like, órale pues, así me dijo, y that's how we'll do it.
Should I share my nickname?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Has nothing to do with soccer, man.
Let's hear it.
I'll tell you what, when we immigrated from Mexico, we lived in the north side of Greeley, and so we had people that lived there were what we call Chicanos, right? Multi-generational Latinos in the U.S. And so they already had a passion for basketball, and we had an outside basketball court at Rodarte. Saludos a toda la gente who would go to Rodarte all day and all night, and they put up lights. Well, anyways, we would play soccer, obviously, at that park, but then everybody wanted to play basketball, and they said I looked like Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc
from the Chicago Bulls back in the late 90s. And then I'm also left-handed, so I would always obviously shoot with my left hand. So my nickname has nothing to do with soccer. It's puro basketball. And,
well, you have that facade, bro.
I
You
got
have
that
like,
Croatian, Eastern European.
Yeah.
So they call me Kukoc. And it has nothing to do with soccer, ¿verdad? Ni modo. But yeah, that's our nicknames, Tripa and Kukoc. Maybe that should be the name of our podcast. Tripa y Kukoc, quién sabe.
You know, I'll give you my original nickname, which I can't stand, but I will give it to you. When I moved from Chihuahua to this little rascuacho town out here called Holyoke.
Oh, my goodness, that's rancho, primo.
Straight up rancho, dude. And we didn't even live in town, dude. We lived like 15 miles almost into the Nebraska border. So I show up at school, right? I don't speak a lick of English, dude.
None of us, yeah.
Show up, dude. And my hair at the time was blonde. I know you guys don't believe me, but I'll bring a picture. Blondish hair. And they're like, where the hell is this guy from? Soy de Mexico, a huevo. And they're like, well, you don't look like Mexican. You got blonde hair. I was like, ¿y qué, güey? You know, like, ¿y qué? Sí soy, ¿qué tiene, güey?
Yeah.
And so they thought I was Italian.
Órale.
So they started calling me Guido. So my original nickname was Guido. And a bunch of people that will be watching this podcast will attest to that. Like, ¿qué onda, Guido? Or they'll be like, Luis Gutierrez, who, dude? Like, you know, the guys from all like, Guido. Oh, I remember Guido, you know. So that was my original nickname. Eventually it turned into La Tripa, which
that's fine.
Whatever. You know, they're good nicknames.
That's funny. And, who knew we both would have Italian or Eastern European nicknames. Yeah. You know, it's great because I think we can even get into racial stereotypes and all that with you know, coming from Mexico and that generalizations that folks have about Mexicanos and you know, that's why we're here, you know, try to break some stereotypes. You know, we went to school. I think that's not the only measure of success, obviously, but it's one measure of success. And I think Luis has shown that in the community. I try to do my best growing up in the northern part of Greeley to do what I can for my community as well. And so, you know, we'll slip in a few critical race theory ideas and all that fun stuff. But, you know, let's get back to the topic about the selección, right? What do you think, Luis?
So let's look at the agenda here. I know that we came up with so that's the intros. We're going to have, we've been in the talks with some guests that are going to be in the podcast. And I think you guys will be surprised. Yeah. I think we'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Rene and I are part of Pancho Villa's Army, which I've had conversations with El General and a couple of the other guys that will probably want to come and talk to us and be guests on the show. But we want to give this a trial run first and see how it goes. But with no further ado,
we have some exciting
material here.
Yeah, exactly. What it means to for Denver and hosting the First Nations League Cup. Right, so 4 international teams coming to Denver. It's a great opportunity for the city to really showcase. They can host a game of this magnitude, and in this case, they're just going to host 4 games over about 3 or 4 days. So you know, it's a great opportunity, as I mentioned before. I've talked to Luis about, you know, what does this mean for, you know, having Denver as a host city in 2026. And we've talked about how to get into that bid process with the city of Denver, right? And so I have a few connections that I hope to share at our next podcast in terms of perhaps bringing a guest speaker on that topic who sits on that committee, that host city committee. So it's pretty exciting. So what do you think, Luis? What do you think how the importance of Mexico and other big national teams coming to Denver?
Man, I think it's great. We've been spoiled in Denver, right? We have great installations. The pitch is great. I know we've watched Mexico here many times, in Denver.
Every time they come.
Yeah, but it's always friendlies.
Yeah.
The games are usually not that important. I mean, all games are important, but to have 4 games in the CONCACAF Champions League, that's a great advocate for whatever Denver is trying to do to try to get that World Cup game here. And I think if you guys are listening out there, show up to these games.
Right.
Go to these games because, you know, that's going to really dictate what kind of what kind of economic effect it's going to have in Denver. And I think that's basically what it comes down to in Denver. If we can show up and show the world that, hey, if you guys bring whoever it is, Switzerland, you know, Algeria, let's do it. Let's go watch this game.
Yep.
But I think it's very important, and I'm excited to have your I think it's a colleague, right, that you have that is on that committee. We'll have some guests that could probably help us out in that department, and we're excited to see. I'm super excited to go on Thursday and Sunday and see what happens, because like I said, dude, I'd take a third place game with the Mexico US rather than a championship against Honduras. Nothing against Honduras.
Yeah.
But I just get up for the US, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's that rivalry, man, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's just exciting. You know, Mexico, that's another big deal. Why CONCACAF puts Mexico in different demographic areas around the United States, and obviously Denver, Colorado has a huge Hispanic, Latinx, Latina following, and we're gonna show that on June 3rd and June 6th, and there's a huge following, right? And even more so if they end up playing the United States for the final. So we're looking forward to that. I know the city of Denver and, you know, the Front Range, everybody comes out, man. I remember we talked about when Mexico would play back in the day, driving south to Denver with our Mexican flags and like a caravan, going to the game, because all the raza from Greeley were going to go to Denver to watch watch them play. So we hope to see that.
Y la madre. I remember that, dude. I love that. And you know, one thing that I do want to talk about is the Colorado Rapids.
Oh yes.
And my discontent with that team.
Yes.
And how they do not represent us in Denver.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this will maybe open up, you know, I think his name is Paul Bravo still over there as a GM.
Yep.
Exactly. I hope that it opens his eyes, like, hey, if we get a couple of Mexican players, even if they're not in their prime, I think they're going to be great.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great for the city of Denver and bring out all the Mexicans out, because right now, dude,
there's nothing.
I'm not going.
How do you associate? You and I are both that we have that marketing background, right? How do you reach out to a significant market that you're missing by not attracting more Mexican players or Hispanic, Latino, Latinx players in general?
Yeah.
You know, it's a huge opportunity that's being missed, unfortunately. And you know, people are prime. People live here. We want to follow soccer. We want to follow, you know, players in their twilight years, and that's fine too. And even if they want to, you know, dish out some cash to play some strong players, like, you know, what Miami did with Pizarro. You know, obviously LA Galaxy with Chicharito, Vela,
Pulido in Kansas City, dude. Come on, man.
I mean, Kansas City,
seriously,
man. Do you know? Yeah, it's like what you think of a small market team or medium
Portland with what's his name? Is it Van Rankin?
I think so.
Van Rankin, dude. Come on.
It's like,
you know, it's like,
I think, you know, it's Kroenke. You know, he's got the cash. He owns part of Arsenal. He obviously has the Avs, and he also has the Nugs. You know, I think there's an opportunity to bring some good quality players to the Rapids, and it could only help them, I guess, you know.
I think so. I mean, I would show up to games, and I think there's a lot of people out there that would be like, you get one dude.
Yeah.
I mean, take, for example, William Yarbrough.
Right.
That dude, born in Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
White dude from missionary parents.
Yep.
People noticed.
Yep.
Wait a minute. William Yarbrough's at the Rapids? Didn't he play for Leon? Yeah, dude. Yeah. They're like, let's go. At least go, you know, support him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's not a fan favorite per se.
Right.
But people still get behind him.
Yep. Exactly.
And even me, I saw William Yarbrough. I was like, well, let's go,
man.
dude.
Why not?
Let's go watch him. And so can you imagine if they brought like just looking at the convocatoria, dude. Can you imagine if they brought like a Hector Moreno?
Yeah, man. Just to support that back line. And these great, there's a bunch of great players that, you know, at
in their twilight, their careers that could come here and help the Rapids a ton.
I have to be honest with you, last year or the year before, this is pre-COVID, I went to a Rapids game because LA LA came for Vela.
For Vela, yeah.
Right, exactly. I came to watch Vela and not the Rapids. But that's just the hard truth, man. It's about supporting players like you and I mentioned earlier, regardless of where they started.
Yeah.
We'll go watch them. That's the whole thing. That's what people don't get. If we'll follow our Mexican players because it's great. It's how we grew up. It's what our parents made us watch.
That's right.
And, or they wouldn't let us watch because we're bothering them and they just wanted to watch the game. But, we grew up on that. And so that, that's part of the piece of getting Denver as a host city and getting that fan base supporting, that bid for 2026. That goes back into what's the long-term vision for the city of Denver. And it's not just one organization. When I say that, it's not just the city of Denver, but you got to have the Colorado Rapids. Yeah. The Denver Broncos, they obviously used the facility for CONCACAF to bring this tournament on. So they're on board. They understand that piece. It's just more large systems have to realize that it's as Luis mentioned, it's an economic plus when you have this kind of soccer and you have that kind of support. So we'll figure out how to get at least one World Cup game here in Denver, and if everything goes well with this tournament, man, I think there shouldn't be a problem doing so. So
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next year?
Let's see here. Let's see the selección. Who's in? Who's out?
Who's waiting in the wings?
Wow.
I wrote an article that I sent over.
You wrote something?
I wrote an article, bro. It's right here.
Was this for school?
This was for the 18, dude.
Oh, cálmate,
Boulder, dude.
Cálmate.
Ya sé. I don't even know
You wrote something?
Ni hablo inglés, güey. I'm writing over here.
Look at that, man.
So I mean, if you looked at it, right, you look at the actual convocatoria.
Yeah.
And you look at the people I have. I was pretty close, but there are some guys missing here that I just don't think.
Who do you think? What are the guys missing that Tata missed?
Well,
overlooked.
I'm gonna start with the keeps, dude. Okay. I think he missed on Carlos Acevedo, and that was one of my wild cards, right? With he's with Santos. He's been playing well.
They're doing awesome.
Young kid. I think he's like 23, 24. Santos has a good team, but unfortunately he didn't make the convocatoria. We got Ochoa, we got Orozco,
Talavera,
which in Cota, right? And out of those, I'm not a big Orozco fan.
Yeah.
Never have been.
He's kind of on the edge.
He's on the edge.
He's going to be Ochoa, Talavera, and then maybe Orozco third. But he won't even see playing time, man.
I don't think so either.
So, yeah. But that's the other issue, Luis, is when do we start introducing, what does Tata start introducing the young generation, and how do we mix that group, and how do you start developing them at a young age, like you mentioned? And it's something that we'll obviously talk about more, but because
you can, I mean, when you look at the keepers, right? These guys are old. Ochoa, Talavera, and Orozco.
Exactly.
Those guys are old. They're all in their upper 30s, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I know keepers can play longer, but
hey, bro, we don't have Buffon on our team, bro. That guy,
Buffon's the only one.
How old is he?
He's 42.
42.
Dude.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and he's still on
retired.
top, dude. I mean, it's those type of players that we just. I mean, Ochoa can be that way. I heard Ochoa is looking to go to the MLS, and I mean that's gonna be.
Yeah.
If he leaves America, I mean, that guy is like next to Cuauhtémoc Blanco, dude. Ochoa is like super duper. Eagle, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. Are these guys going to be, what is that going to look like next year, 2022 Qatar, bro? That's in a year,
right,
man.
Well,
the tournament, I guess they're going to push it to November because it's going to be so hot in Qatar, obviously. So it's usually a summer 30 days of international soccer at the World Cup, but they're going to push it back. But still, a year and a few months away, and, they got some young, fast players. Do we have keepers that are going to be agile, man, for that level of team? And I don't know, again, what that's going to look like.
And I know Chivas has a pretty good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
That guy, and he's young.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's going to be some of these guys coming up that will have to get their chance, one way or the other.
Well, they have to get exposed to that level,
Right.
and they're not being exposed to that. If they keep plugging older players and no playing time for our younger players, it's going to be an interesting dynamic, man. I mean, El Conejito Perez, bro.
I remember that, dude.
He was there, man, but he was just again in his twilight playing World Cup, and it's not, if you just need to have. We counted on Ochoa for so many years, right? And he did an amazing job.
He has.
But sometimes you have to think about when that transition and how that looks like.
And I'll go out on a limb and say that the last World Cup that Conejo played, dude.
Yeah.
That was Ochoa's time.
Yeah.
That was Ochoa's when he was coming up, when he was like, "Hey, why is Conejo playing over Ochoa?" And we all asked that. We were all like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
And I mean, I got pretty heated over it, and I was like, "No manches, what's going on here?" I mean, Ochoa should be there. And even, I think, I'm going back and this is going to age me, dude. Korea 2002.
2002,
dude.
yeah.
Do you remember Guardado when he came in against Argentina? And they're like, who is this kid, dude? Yep. He should have been playing the whole time.
Yeah. Well, we
and I mean, we're talking about, was it 2002?
Yeah, that was Korea.
And Guardado is still...
I know, that's amazing.
Dude.
I did read yesterday. He just announced for retirement.
No,
I read that yesterday. At least from Real Betis.
Okay.
But who knows? Tata may call him up. I think you need that leadership for a few minutes, right? Whether it be the first half of whatever game. Marquez was right there in the middle helping us, carrying. We just need that leadership role. But yeah, that goes back to, I think, pressure from the coaches, right? They want to feel comfortable with, they know maybe at that particular point in time they give him the best chance to win, right?
Yeah.
Versus giving a new guy a new opportunity. So
and who are we to say,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here like, that was Ochoa's time.
Yeah.
What if he was being, a little punk?
Yeah, that's true.
In practice, and whoever the coach was at the time was like, Nael, you're not going to get to play. You're just a kid. You're some of those things behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Well, we welcome Tata to reach out to us and give him coaching advice.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm available as an assistant.
Absolutely.
Strategist.
Me too. We can we can definitely help him if he calls us. We'll definitely send him our podcast information as well. Pero tú sabes.
If you want to come on, Tata,
we'll welcome you.
All day, dude. All day, bro. We'll pay for it.
Exactly.
But So, I mean, looking at let's move to the fullbacks, dude. I mean, we got Chaka, obviously, right? And then we got Jorge Sanchez, obviously. We got Gallardo.
I think.
Arteaga.
Yeah.
Those are my four.
Orale, all right.
Those are the exact four that I had in the fullbacks, dude. Mira.
Jeez,
No te miento.
All right, it's a nice article here.
Look at this, bro. Fullbacks.
I gotcha. You got your...
Luis Rodriguez, Jesus Gallardo.
I like it.
Bench, Arteaga, Jorge Sanchez. What's up?
Called him. That's good. Good catch, bro. That's a good catch.
And I've been watching this Arteaga kid. Another Santos guy, dude.
Yeah.
Another Santos guy. That kid, I think he's going to be in the Champions League next year.
That'd be amazing.
Genk is the number 2 spot in the Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. And if they win out, that's a champion's berth, dude. So we could have more Mexicans in the Champions League, dude.
Bro. Yeah, obviously Los Angeles, Napoli, I think they're in 4th place now. And I mean, that's the top 4 for the Italian league. But yeah, I like that. I like that idea. And it goes back to bringing that mix, right, of young and I think Moreno will get a starting role.
You think Hector will?
Yeah, just for that veteran presence. I think Tata will feel more comfortable with him kind of leading that back line. So that's the only disagreement I have for you, Luis.
So you think? So who I got Salcedo and Nestor Araujo. I might be changing my opinion too, dude, because Salcedo
is awesome, man.
He's been pretty good.
With Tigres, bro, he's got a lot
of help, dude.
European experience. He's come back to Liga MX, but man, that fool, I like how he plays. He's strong. He's passionate.
He is passionate.
And he doesn't mess around, man. And
Yeah.
I like him as well, always. And he should be back in Europe. But, hey, man, Tigres pays well.
They do.
And so what do, man? It's about getting your bread and whatever makes most sense for him and his family and as others. But, yeah, it's a good mix. I like that mix.
What do you think of Nestor, dude?
Bro, he shut down Barcelona the other day.
Yeah, he did, dude.
And it was amazing. He really put Messi. He set him down. I love his size, man, and I love that
He's huge.
He's a big player. We need that big player for those corner kicks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we always I like how he plays. He's got that exposure in Europe, and I just like his size, man.
So I want to table that. Okay. I want to table that Nestor Araujo,
Órale.
Salcedo, Moreno thing because later on in the podcast, you know, we got a strategy coming for you guys.
Oh, I like it.
In some instance, if it happens, we don't know if it will or not.
I got
But
you.
anyways, let's move on to the midfielders here. Who do we got on? Who do we got on the convocatoria?
Well, we got Alvarado, Antuna, Cordova, Los Santos, Guardado. I don't know. That's an asterisk. We don't know if he's going to play or not.
Yeah.
Guti, Herrera, of course. Lainez,
Dos Santos, yeah.
Pizarro. Man, a lot.
Would you say that's our strength?
Yeah, man. I'm looking at these faces and players, and wow, they're all in their prime,
and where
bro.
they play.
Young, yeah.
And where they play.
Young, and then their prime, bro. I don't see. I mean, outside of Guardado, I mean, look at these young players, man. Perfect prime players, perfect mix. I think Herrera's the anchor right there, bro. He's number one spot.
Man.
Yeah, all day.
Box to box all day, dude.
Exactly. He's with Atletico Madrid. They're in first place, and that boy played the final game, and I think he's an amazing player, man. How he developed, and I don't see anybody, better than him right there taking that anchor spot.
Ever? Because I'll go out and say
ever.
Ever,
All
dude,
right,
ever in that
I
box
get
to box. Who else?
Well, no, it goes back and forth, right? I use European exposure and playing time as a criteria for me, and he's been out there for so many years, man, and he's gained that, and I think that's a really that's just an important quality and that he has that I think if you compare other players to him, he's played on tough teams, man. Atletico Madrid is a tough, scrappy team, bro. They're not.
Those midfielders are, dude.
Yeah, bro. They're not a finesse. You have Barcelona, pardon.
Barcelona.
Yeah, you have their finesse. They're smart, and that's great, and that's their game. But man,
they don't like contact,
Madrid,
dude.
Bro. Yeah, bro. That's Madrid is scrappy, bro. They will knock you off the.
We're gonna hit you.
Exactly.
We're gonna foul you.
Exactly.
Si te levantas, te vamos a patear otra vez.
Exacto. Yeah, I love that. That mix. I love that mix. We have some young and prime players at that level. And whoever Tata goes with, I think. I will say, though, man, Alvarado, he's been called up a lot of times.
El Piojo?
Yeah. But he doesn't, I don't know.
He's not showing up, dude.
He's not showing up. He doesn't do as well as he does at the club level. But aside from that, I think we have a really good group, man. Jeez.
And that's, for starters, I had HH, Guardado, and Edson Alvarez, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to get Alvarez.
Those three.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see another. Like I was telling you, I think Edson Alvarez is the closest thing we have to Rafa Marquez in years, dude.
Yeah.
He's got the athleticism. He's got the knack to go up front.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the knack to come back and recoup. And so he could step into the HH role.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually,
Oh, yeah. What a good problem to have, right?
You're right.
Yeah,
you have two box-to-box guys? Yeah. I'd take that all day, dude.
Oh,
Shoot.
I like his length, man. I like his length. He's tall. He can get those headers, man. He can again. You're playing, European quality players, and so you're having to be size. Size is a good component. And he has that tall, lengthy part of his game. So I really like that mix. Yeah. All right, man. Should we end up with the
forwards?
The forwards.
I gotta give my homeboy Luis Chapito Montes here, dude. I hope he goes. Yeah. I hope he changes his mind. I know he retired from the Sele, but I hope he changes his mind, dude.
Yeah.
The dude's a cool guy. But let's touch up on these little French guys right here.
Okay, yeah.
I got Charlie Rodriguez.
Okay.
And I think Guti's going to be there. Gutierrez but Francisco Beltran, dude.
Okay.
Fernando Beltran from Chivas, dude.
Oh,
I was giving.
That's who we were trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's who I was.
We were talking.
That's the kid that I was like, dude.
They were talking.
Young kid.
They were talking him up, and
he took Chicote's place, dude.
Bro. And Chicote is like a super talented player too, dude. Man. And they were talking to him. They were, God, what game was he? But yeah, I mean, these analysts, these radio analysts, you obviously listen while the game is on, and they pick up on these high quality players and where they should be, just like what you said, Luis. And Beltran is that player, man. And so I think, Chivas does a great job, I will say, of really developing super young players. And then obviously they either put them on loan and then even develop further. But they do have a good eye of eyeing talent at a young age. And so, keeps growing.
So let's move on to the exciting part of this lineup, right?
Finale.
The attackers, I call them the attackers because I can't just call them forwards, dude. We got so many things, dude, here. Let's see, who do we got up in the convocatoria?
We got Jesus Tecatito Corona. We got RJ9.
Of course.
We got Lozano, which,
Chucky.
I like him, El Chucky. Although you think of him I don't think of him as a striker, but they have him there, and I understand. Yeah. I get that. Andy Martin from America, and then Pulido, right, from Kansas City. So, man, the forwards and strikers are always controversial, especially because you have some players that aren't being called up and and who are playing really well. I obviously think of Chicharito because of how he started with MLS, and he's got 7 goals already. But you scratch your head. But I know there's some issues that have gone on between him and Tata, and who knows what that's going to look like. But let's talk about who they did call up, right?
Yeah.
I got to go with RJ9, man. If he's ready and he's healthy,
he's got to go, dude.
He's got to go, bro.
The gap between RJ9 and our second best 9 player in Mexico is vast.
Yeah.
Because you think of Lozano goes down.
Yeah.
Plug and play, dude.
Exactly.
Tecatito, Vela. You got even Alvarado. You got Antuna.
Yeah.
Plug and play, dude. I mean, the gap there is not huge.
Mm-hmm.
But RJ9 goes down like he did.
We don't have a 9.
We don't. The closest thing we got is Martin.
Yeah.
And he's not a true 9.
Yeah, I know. That's the tough part, man. And we also have to consider we have some young players going to the Olympics as well. And so that may have kind of influenced his decisions as well. But yeah, it's a tough if RJ9 is going to be the centerpiece, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be our go-to guy because honestly we don't have number 2-9, and if we have a 4-4-2 formation, I don't see who the other striker would be. I mean, you can plug in another player. I know we'll probably put Pulido, but I don't know if Pulido is underused. Obviously, Martin does great at the club level. But we'll see, man, in this tournament, right?
Yeah.
Who shows up?
I don't expect Raul to play. I think he'll be there. I think he'll be, training and whatnot. But I'm really intrigued by what Tata's gonna do.
Yeah.
I want to see his lineups. I want to see, especially in these games, because there is a plethora of wingers, striking wingers.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those.
A lot of them. Yep.
It's a problem to have because who gets playing time?
Yeah.
Right now, if you were to say Lozano and Tecatito, nobody would bat an eye.
Yeah.
But then you're like, what about Lainez?
Exactly.
Because Lainez right now, dude, I mean,
he's on fire. He
is, the past 2 months, I haven't seen a better winger.
Yeah.
Because that dude is playing incredible right now.
Exactly. And that's why he's starting with Real Betis. I think he's been starting every game so far in the last, I think, 11 games that I've been following them. But he's playing at a high quality level. He also gained a couple LBSs, so he got a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And I think he's starting to understand kind of the the physicality, right, of European soccer, but he's taken that on and he's excelled, bro. And so, I can see Lainez and shoot anybody on the wing.
And what about Antuna?
Antuna's super fast, bro.
I'm telling you, dude. Like el compa, el compatriota acá de Durango, he's been playing well too, dude. Yeah. And he's been, I mean, that left or right wing.
Oh yeah,
he can do both, and he's just incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason why Manchester City bought him, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I know it didn't pan out, but come on.
Yeah.
The talent is there. So like I said, the attacking wingers worries me not at all.
No, we have more to choose from.
Right. We have so many of them, and I feel like we're forgetting somebody on that attacking wing side, but
any of those guys can feed our strikers, man. And and they're super fast and they can create chances. And that's what we need, man. We need fast wingers to have, please. And all those guys, young, fast, and good experience. That's what I'm looking at now. Just a list and some faces, but exciting, bro. That's what's coming up, you know. And I know we're probably close at time, so wanted to end it up with the most exciting piece of it is identifying our strikers.
We need to do like the tan-tan.
Exactly.
Some drums or something. What are you guys talking about?
Exactly.
Well, Rene and I have a theory that if for some reason RJ Knight can go, obviously Raul Jimenez can't go, and we get bad news that, I don't know, that he can't play or he's just hesitant to use every part of his body to be efficient on the field.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What is Tata going to do?
Yeah. You know, he put Chucky as a striker the last few games.
We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that.
And he's not a true 9, man.
No,
he's not. I think you give Henry Martin and Pulido a chance, bro. And those are as close as you're going to get because you don't want Chucky there. You want him on the side, man. You want him creating chances, and that's what he does best. And he can create his own goals. And
he can.
But I think we'll probably see Martin and Pulido if RJ9 can't go, man. I think that's what I see. What about you?
As a true 9?
Yeah. Well, as a 9 for these games, I don't know if it would be but we'll see.
Yeah. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you, and I'm gonna. If I was Tata, I'm gonna be like, ¿sabes qué? Chucky, learn to play 9.
All right, man.
Learn to play punta.
Okay.
Learn to play solo because we need you there.
Yeah.
Because we need you there if Raul can't go. Because again, what did we say? We have all these wingers. Mm-hmm. Imagine a trident with Lozano, Tecatito, and Lainez.
That's nice.
With Lozano in the middle.
Yeah.
If he can learn that role, and Tata's hand might be pushed because how well Lainez is playing.
Yeah.
It might be pushed that way because if Lainez keeps playing the way he's playing, you have to include him somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tecatito's going to have to move to the left.
Yeah.
Or you can put Lainez on the left too. He can play on that side. But I think it's going to be Lozano in the middle, dude. I think he's going to take over that 9. I don't know that Napoli's going to like it.
No.
Because, they're like, nope, you're our winger. And we don't care what you do on the Sele. You're playing winger out here. Yeah. So I don't know if Tata is going to...
That's why we paid him 40 million euros.
That's right, dude.
To play a winger, right? Yeah, I get it, man. It'll be interesting. We'll have to come back at our next podcast to see who was right, man, and
I want to
see. Yeah.
And I think Pulido and Martin are gonna get their.
Yeah, chances.
I think they're gonna get their chances, dude. But I would be excited, like I told you, tabled, if we started a 3 center back, Moreno, Araujo, and Salcedo, and then put a Tecatito on the right side. Instead of Chaka.
Okay.
Because he's been doing that with Porto.
Yeah, he has been Porto. He's been going running from the back
from side to side, dude. Yeah. And if you do that, I mean, I know Chaka, that kind of leaves Chaka out. But, I mean, left side with Arteaga and Jorge Sanchez, you're going to have to figure that out. Or Gallardo.
Yeah.
Right? Because now we're looking into a 5... What is that? A 5-2-3.
Yeah. The formation will matter for Tata on this, and that's going to depend where you put your players, right? Yeah. So it'll be exciting, needless to say, man. So I think we'll have a really dynamic core team, depending on what Tata wants, And we'll be there, right, Luis?
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Órale.
We'll be there Thursday and Sunday.
That's right, man.
Maybe
Might
get
as well
some video and we'll put it up here.
Yeah.
Our
That'd be
editor can figure out how to put it up there.
Yeah, props.
But yeah, man, we're excited for the game in Denver. We're excited about the Sele. Super excited about Qatar.
Yeah.
2026. Wish I can go.
Qatar 2022.
2022, and we're excited about U.S.,
and
Canada, Mexico 2026.
That's right.
But yeah, we're excited about this podcast to just get together every so often, and we don't know how constantly we're gonna be making these podcasts, but stay tuned.
Exactly. That's right. Thanks, Luis, for putting this together, and here trying to support you, and Memo for hosting us.
Thanks, Memo.
Appreciate it, man.
Or G, how everybody knows him.
That's right.
Gracias, güey.
Yeah, gracias, bro. It's all about supporting each other, right? And we all have different talents, and we leverage those talents. We all grew up together, and it's good to see folks being successful in different forms. So thanks, Luis. Thanks,
Rene.
Thanks, G, bro.
G.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next time.
Exactly.
Nos vemos. Arriba.
Arriba, Mexico.